Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sheila. I'm a pattern dressmaker, and in today's video I'll be showing you how I made this beautiful DIY denim bucket art. So I'll start by drafting the pattern and then move over to the sewing. Now let's dive into the tutorial. To make this bucket art, you need to draft a pattern, and to get the perfect size of pattern that will fit you, you need to take the circumference of your head measurement. And this is how you do it. You get your measuring tape and you measure around your head to get the circumference. Once you get that, you get a rectangular pattern paper like this, and you fold it over once and fold it over again. That's twice, and you should be left with a square shape like this. Now we need to do some division. Okay, so this depends on the circumference you're working with. I'm working with 23 inches, so I'll divide 23 by 6.28 to get my radius, and the radius I'll be working with is 3.6. So if you're wondering where I got this measurement from, you could just go online with your circumference and get the radius online. It's that easy. Okay, so next I'll get my measuring tape and I'll measure 3.6 inches around my pattern paper to get the circle, like to get a round bit of the art. And once I get that, I will then add my seam allowance to the pattern. Now we've gotten the top part of the pattern. The next part we need to draft is the body, also called the crown. To get that, we need to divide the circumference by 2. In my case, it's 23 inches divided by 2, which is 11.5 inches. On my pattern paper, I will draw an horizontal line, and from the horizontal line, I will start marking the length of the body or the crown I want. So the length is the marked part on the picture on the right. So once I'm done marking, I will draw a straight line across, and on this pattern paper the left side will be labeled, the left side will be cut on fold. So once I'm done drawing the lines from the left side, I will then mark the half of my circumference, which in my case is 11.5. So I'll measure 11.5 to the right and I'll mark it, and I'll also label the pattern and I'll cut this out. And this is my cutout pattern. Now I'll fold this pattern piece twice, just like this, to get a slashed line. I'll draw out the slash line and slash the pattern to the tip of the pattern. So I'm not going to slash it through, I'm just going to slash it to the tip of the pattern paper. Then I will get another pattern paper and place this pattern piece on top, and I will spread the slashed line by 2/8 of an inch or 0.6 centimeters. Because the pattern paper is not straight, I'm drawing a vertical line so I can place my pattern piece on a straight line. Remember, this pattern piece will be cut on fold, so it has to be placed on a straight line. So once I'm done with this bit, like I said, I will spread each of the slashed line by 2/8 of an inch or 0.6 centimeters. And once I'm done spreading, I will then add my sewing allowance on the top, the bottom, and on the right side. We don't need seam allowance on the left side because the left side will be cut on fold. Here I've traced my pattern on a fresh sheet of folded paper, and I'm just adding the seam allowance, and I'll also label the pattern and cut out, and then we can move to the last part of the pattern, which is the brim. To get the brim of the pattern, you need to measure what you have on the bottom part of the body pattern. And when you're measuring, do not measure the seam allowance, you're measuring the actual pattern. Okay, as you can see, I'm measuring my pattern and I have 13 inches. Now I'll get another piece of pattern paper which I already cut out. This is 13 inches by 3 inches, so the width is 13 inches and the length is 3 inches, which match with the body pattern. Next, I will fold this pattern triple times. Remember, on the body part we folded twice. This time I'm folding 3 times to get my slashed mark. Once I'm done, I will draw out the slashed line using my ruler and pencil. Slash the lines. We should have 8 lines in total. I'll slash the lines to the tip of the pattern, then I'll get a folded pattern paper and place this pattern piece on top and spread by 5/8 of an inch or 1.5 centimeters. The patterns are ready for cutting. For fabric, I'm using this beautiful pair of jean I got on sales for £9, which is really fair, to be honest. On the inside part of the art, I will be using satin fabric on the top and the body part, while the brim will still be the denim fabric. And I also made this gorgeous Prada inspired bralette from this pair of jeans. I'm currently working on the tutorial, so let me know if you'd like to see it on the comment section. I'll unpick the jean off camera and then cut my pieces out. Yeah, the pieces cut out. As you can see, the body and the brim parts could not be cut on fold as the pair of jeans is not wide enough to do that. So I'll be joining them side by side with half an inch seam allowance. Before I do that, there is this hole on the body part, ripped hole that needs structure, and to do that I'll place a tiny piece of denim fabric underneath it and I'll top stitch just to give it more structure to work with. Once this is done, I will join the other pieces together with half an inch seam allowance on the side seams. This is what they should look like after joining them side by side. I also did a top stitch which I later unpicked. The next step is to join the body and the top parts together, and to do that I will notch around the upper part of the body pieces to give it the flexibility to fit perfectly with the top piece. And I'm also going to match my joining my seam allowance. So if you have any joining, make sure to match them right so you get a clean finishing. I'll match all the seam allowance together, pin around to make sure the top piece fits the body piece, and I'll sew using half an inch seam allowance. After sewing around, you should have something like this. Now I'll fold the seam allowance upward and do a top stitch. You could also trim off from the seam allowance if you feel it's too bulky, okay, and do a top stitch round. And this is what it should look like once you're done top stitching, and you must repeat the same thing on the lining piece. The next step is to join the brim to the body, and to do that you also need to notch around the top part of the brim, then pin it together with the body piece, right side facing each other, and I'll also sew with half an inch seam allowance. And this is it after pinning. I also repeated the same thing on the lining piece, and I've gone ahead to sew round. Next, I'll push the seam allowance upward and do a top stitch like I did earlier, and after top stitching you should have your piece looking like this. Next is to place the main piece and the lining piece right side facing each other, making sure to match all the seam allowance together. Pin and sew with half an inch seam allowance, but leave enough space to turn them to the right side. I'll fold the seam allowance on the opening inward and give it a good press. Then do top stitching all around the brim. The first top stitching will be close to the tip as possible, so to cover up the opening. I hope the video has been helpful. If so, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you on my next one.